I think this was two things tonight. I think, number one, it was a spectacle. It was an event. It was something amazing that happened, and we were so proud to be part of it. I mean, this was breaking ground for a professional volleyball league, and there could have been 800 people in a poorly played match, and it was an incredible match with an incredible crowd, an incredible atmosphere, incredible support staff. Whoever put on this production for the fans, it was amazing, it was epic. And if we would have won, we would have been celebrating that we won and that we had this epic event, and we didn't, but it doesn't diminish the fact that we were part of history. And I think these two both came from completely different perspectives to get to this point in their life, but they were a part of history. And in future years, there's going to be people playing professional volleyball, and there's going to be some 13-year-old out there that watched us play that is going to play professional volleyball, and this was the first match that she ever saw in her life. I just think it's amazing that we had this opportunity, and we were so lucky as a group to be in this match with this kind of support and this kind of crowd in Omaha, where the first match should have been, and it was. And then on the competitive side, you know, Atlanta was really good, and we were down 2-0, and we go in the locker room, and the players collaborated a little bit, and we said reverse sweep. That's the only option now, reverse sweep, and they talked among themselves, and we made a few adjustments, and we came out, and we were up in the fifth with a legit chance to win it. And I think we were in the locker room down 2-0 and said, well, we're going to be up in the fifth with a legit chance to win it. We would have taken it, and we were. And I'm just so proud of these two, but I'm so proud of the other players because we didn't have a lot of time to get ready for this. We just got done with training camp, setting our roster, and we did a couple days of scouting on Atlanta, and they executed some stuff unbelievable, and they know they did, and they're proud of it. And we came up a couple points short in a couple rallies. Otherwise, we're in a different spot. But a great event, great competition, and we're really proud of our players for putting on a great show to open this great league up.
Brooke, how do you balance the sting from the loss with the spectacle of the night?
I think I'm proud is a word that comes to mind. I'm very proud to be playing in this state with 11,000 people for this first game of the entire season. Even though we lost 3 sets by 2 points, and I think there's so much that we can do better, and I still think we played great. So I'm not discouraged at all. I'm proud of the group for fighting as hard as they did, for staying in it, for getting back to 5, to get in a legitimate spot to win the 5th set. And like Shelton said, this is such an incredible experience, like just being out here and looking up in the stands and just seeing all this support. But at the end of the day, it's a volleyball match, and you know, I think we competed really, really hard, and that's one thing like I will take away, and I know this team will do for the rest of the season.
Just when it hit you that this was happening and you're out there playing professional volleyball in Omaha?
It still really hasn't sunk in. I think once we got that first serve going, we're like, okay, this is really happening. It's just an honor to be a part of.
Were there nerves for a match like this? I mean, you've played college volleyball. I mean, how were there nerves for a match like this?
I think maybe a little bit, but as Betty said, we have nerves because we're alive, right? Like this is such an awesome event. Like, of course we're gonna have nerves, so we know that we're alive when we have the nerves. So yes, there were definitely nerves, but I think our team was so together that those kind of went away once we started playing.
And just a word about these two. When we put this team together, Brooke was one of my very first phone calls when we were recruiting, and I said, Brooke, I want to build my team around you, your personality, your competitiveness. I want to build my team around you. And she said yes back in June, maybe, to build our franchise around her. She's our captain. About that same time, I talked to Jess, and Jess said, well, I happen to have a 4-month-old, but I can really, really work to get myself ready if I have an opportunity. And I said, I don't really see that happening. We got a pretty good roster. And Jess said, just tell me if there's an opportunity. If I can beat somebody out, will I have that opportunity? I said, if you beat somebody out, you'll have that opportunity. And amazingly, she now has a 1-year-old, and she is playing at amazingly high level. And these are two really great stories of two different people on different paths of their life who came out and they're starting this Pro Volleyball Federation. And we've got other people on our team that have unique and interesting stories who are going to be up here talking to you guys later after we win matches, and that's going to be fun too. But these two are really cool stories, and I'm really proud that I'm up here with them.
Jess, I met you about a year and a half ago, and you were teaching little kids in purple t-shirts how to play volleyball. At that point in time, did you ever get the sense that you were going to get to play volleyball like this again? And what does it mean now that you get to see those girls again, I assume, in the summertime, and get to share these stories with them?
Yeah, so I taught for 3 years before coming back to play volleyball, so no, I did not think that this would be happening. But I believe that God had a plan for me and that this was part of it. And so, yeah, I'm honored to like be in this position and hopefully have some of those Blair girls, want to play volleyball and want to play for the Omaha Supernovas someday. And hopefully I can play a small part in that.
Were there Blair girls in the crowd? Did you know?
Saw a couple of them, yeah.
Can I ask you about the match? Talk about how you guys came back, what you did to come back first, if you don't mind.
I think we were cleaner in sets 3 and 4. I think errors started to slip away. I think the energy felt different. I know for myself, the first couple sets, I was figuring out, how energized should I be with this crowd? Like, what is this crowd going to give me? And I was trying to figure out that balance for myself, and I felt more like me in the 3rd and 4th sets. And I think a lot of the players on the team would say that. They were just getting accustomed. We went in the locker room, like Shelton said, and, we made a couple tweaks, a couple adjustments, and I think the energy was different and we were cleaner. There was a couple errors in the 5th set, but, I think Atlanta won. That was the set that I really felt like they won, was that 5th one.
You know Leah well, and you knew what she was capable of going
Yeah.
off like she did.
Yeah.
You could,
Absolutely. We played her in AU. She won for a reason. She scores a lot of points. She hits the ball really hard. When I see it, it's kind of just like body it most of the time. But, yeah, she hits a heavy ball. We know she will, and she did take a very heavy load. I think we can maybe prepare a little better next time, but we prepared really well. But I think seeing it in person is very different than, watching film from 3 months ago. So.
Just going back, when the national anthem's playing, what's going through your guys' head, knowing that you're playing professional volleyball here in the U.S., you have to go overseas, leave your family, spouses, all that kind of stuff. What were those emotions?
I think just gratefulness and thankfulness for this opportunity. It was awesome.
Yeah, for me, the national anthem is actually something that settles me into a game. I think I have a really similar routine, and that's when it starts. And I've played for USA Volleyball in the past, and it's a really proud thing to hear the national anthem before you go out and compete, and being able to do that in your home country is always going to be special.
Were you at all surprised by just the life in the crowd and the size of it as you were out there?
Honestly, no, because I know the people have worked so hard to, bring that to us. And so, obviously, we expected these great things just because it's a volleyball state. Like, Nebraska brings out the support. You saw the 92,000 fans that came to the University of Nebraska game in a football stadium. So it doesn't surprise me just because I know how fantastic they are. It's different to feel it, and I'm so happy to be a part of that. And I know we'll continue to thrive off that energy throughout the season.
Brooke, where do you guys go from here? Obviously, you probably wanted to win, but maybe what is the advantage of that loss?
I think an advantage is maybe we can take a breath. There's a lot of people out there that said, oh, Supernovas, they can go undefeated. They can just win the season easily. I knew Atlanta was a very talented team. I know most of the players. That's a lot of pressure. I think we could have done it. For sure, I think we still can continue to go undefeated from here on out. But at the same time, we can take a breath, I think we had all this pressure to win every single point, every single match, and the one advantage is it's okay. We're going to make flaws, but how can we learn from them?
Final questions.
Coach, between that second and third set, what was the talk in the locker room? Is there a leader in that locker room that's clear cut, or is it kind of just all the girls together?
Yeah, I think with our team, we have shared leadership. Brooke is our captain. and she leads by example, also leads vocally. And then we have some other players that were stabilizers, and we got some rah-rah players. You know, we got Kendall White, I think, was in there screaming and yelling a little bit, and that's her deal, and our team receives Kendall's intensity in the right way. You know, I kind of walked in and said a couple things, but I trust our players and trust their mentality, and we knew we had to do a couple things differently, but we also said how exciting and epic it would be on night one if we pull a reverse sweep and we get out of here and the place is going nuts, and we had that as a tangible goal, so we went out and went for it, and they gave it their best shot, and I think we're really proud of that.
Shelton, these close sets, is this what people should come to expect when they watch this league?
Oh, this was pretty epic. I'd like to see somebody come and get this match in the next couple. I mean, how are you going to be down 2-0 with 11,000 people and come back in a 5-set, 13-13 in the fifth? I know there's other cities. I know they're having matches. We will watch them with great interest. But I think they picked the right city. They picked the right two teams. It was the right night for it felt like a circus carnival and volleyball game all wrapped into one, and we were part of it. And I think the other cities are going to have to work hard to get good crowds. And this is setting the bar really high. And that's what Nebraska Husker volleyball does. That's what Creighton volleyball does. That's what UNO volleyball does. They set a high bar for everybody around them. All these high schools in Nebraska, clubs, there's a high bar. And so Omaha Supernovas just set a really, really high bar of what's expected for a Pro Volleyball Federation match. And I think others are going to look at it and say, that was special and they got to go get it now. But we got it, and we're here, and we're not going anywhere.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Jess, thank you. Brooke, thank you.
Yeah, of course.